It began with a whisper in the data, so faint, so subtle that at first it was dismissed as just another glitch in the constant background noise of the cosmos. A single, fleeting anomaly captured by a deep space observatory orbiting high above Earth. But within hours, that whisper grew into something undeniable. Multiple observatories around the world, Chile, Hawaii, Australia, confirmed it. An object was entering our solar system, not a familiar comet or asteroid, no predictable trajectory or ordinary gravitational behavior. This was different. This was something that moved like it wanted to be where it was going. And then came the moment that made the world stop. Michio Kaku, one of the most respected voices in theoretical physics, stepped onto a stage and calmly revealed to the world that what we were witnessing could be one of the most important discoveries in human history. The object, now designated 3 Atlas, was not behaving like any natural body we've ever observed. It slowed down when it should have sped up. It changed direction with precision no random space rock could achieve, and it emitted structured signals, faint, deliberate, impossible to ignore. The room fell silent, the kind of silence where every breath feels too loud, as Kaku warned that this might not just be a piece of drifting space debris. This could be a messenger or a scout, or something else entirely, something that might rewrite humanity's place in the universe. The first detection of 3 Atlas came from an advanced telescope scanning the Kuiper Belt, that vast, frozen ring of debris beyond Neptune, where icy bodies drift in quiet isolation. But what made this detection so strange was how the object's light signature kept changing. Normally, sunlight reflecting off a comet or asteroid produces a stable pattern that varies only as it rotates. 3 Atlas, however, showed irregular, but controlled fluctuations, almost as if the reflection itself was being manipulated. The initial thought was a sensor malfunction, yet the same anomaly appeared in multiple independent instruments thousands of miles apart. Soon its trajectory was locked in, and that's when things became truly unsettling. As it entered the gravitational influence of the Sun, it did not accelerate, as expected. Instead, it decelerated just slightly, but enough to send shock waves through the astrophysics community. This kind of maneuver would require a form of propulsion or drag control completely unknown to current human technology. And yet here it was, moving as if someone or something was at the helm, plotting a course through our system with deliberate care. Models showed that it was heading for a close encounter with Jupiter's magnetosphere, perfectly positioned to use the planet's immense gravity for a slingshot maneuver. This wasn't guesswork or luck. This was orbital mechanics, executed with precision, the kind of move we use in our own interplanetary missions, except this was not one of ours. As the object moved deeper into the solar system, the world's most sensitive radio telescopes began to pick up something unexpected. A faint but repeating electromagnetic pattern emanating from 3 Atlas. Natural objects emit radio noise all the time, usually in chaotic bursts caused by their interaction with cosmic rays or the solar wind. But this was different. This was ordered, structured, repeating at intervals that were too precise to be random. Even more intriguing, the signal was multi-layered, appearing simultaneously in radio, infrared, and microwave frequencies. This suggested not only advanced control over energy output, but also the possibility of multiple channels of information being broadcast at once. The James Webb Space Telescope locked its instruments onto the object and confirmed something extraordinary. Its surface absorbed sunlight far more efficiently than any known natural material, only to release that energy in carefully timed pulses of infrared radiation. To some, it looked like communication. To others, it was data transmission, perhaps back to wherever it came from. Michio Kaku drew a haunting analogy. If you found a perfectly shaped bottle floating in the middle of the ocean, you wouldn't assume the tides made it. You'd know it was made for a purpose. 3 Atlas was that bottle, drifting through the vast ocean of space, its message still locked inside. The next shock came when high-resolution imaging finally revealed the object's true form. 3 Atlas wasn't the irregular chunk of rock or ice we're used to seeing from deep space visitors. It had symmetry, it had angles, and its surface seemed to shift. Not chaotically like a tumbling asteroid, but smoothly, purposefully, almost like the sails of a ship adjusting to changing winds. This led to one of the most controversial theories yet. The possibility that Atlas was not entirely mechanical, but a hybrid of technology and biology. Its exterior appeared to be composed of advanced metamaterials capable of reconfiguring themselves in real time to optimize its position against solar winds, magnetic fields, and radiation pressure. Some experts suggested it could even self-repair, microscopic damage from micrometeoroid impacts. Others speculated that it might possess adaptive camouflage, altering its reflectivity to hide from detection until it chose otherwise. The implications of such engineering are staggering. It would mean its creators had mastered a level of design where the distinction between living organism and machine no longer exists. And if it could adapt like a living thing, then its journey through space might not just be a programmed route. It might be a choice. Perhaps the most unsettling thing about Atlas is not what it has done, but what it has not done. It has never changed course toward Earth, never sent a signal aimed directly at us, never performed any action that could be interpreted as an attempted contact. Instead, it continues along its calculated path, passing through the planetary plane, without interference, like a surveyor ticking off items on a list. This has led to intense speculation that it is one of many such probes, members of a vast, unseen network, quietly monitoring star systems across the galaxy. If so, then Earth is not special, just another waypoint in a much larger mission. Some scientists, echoing Kaku's caution, believe this might be a kind of test not for them but for us. Our reaction, our ability to collaborate globally, our willingness to prioritize knowledge over fear. These could all be variables under observation, and if that's the case, then perhaps the silence is the point, because sometimes the loudest message is the one left unsent. As Atlas moved deeper into the inner solar system, energy readings from multiple observatories began to reveal a behavior that defied conventional astrophysics. Most interstellar objects passively absorb and release solar radiation in predictable patterns, their thermal output rising steadily as they draw closer to the Sun. But Atlas appeared to be playing by its own rules. Its surface temperature did not climb consistently. Instead, it spiked and dropped at precise intervals, almost like a heartbeat. These thermal pulses were synchronized with bursts of electromagnetic energy, suggesting a deliberate conversion of sunlight into controlled energy discharges. Some experts proposed that the object might be using a form of photonic propulsion, harnessing photons to subtly adjust its velocity without visible thrusters. Others speculated it could be powering internal systems, perhaps for navigation, scanning, or even data transmission across interstellar distances. The unsettling part, these energy bursts were not random. They seemed to align with its changing position relative to planetary magnetic fields, as though it were mapping or interacting with them intentionally. When data from the electromagnetic bursts was plotted over time, something remarkable and deeply disturbing emerged. The intervals between certain pulses followed patterns that corresponded to universal mathematical constants, pi, the golden ratio, and prime number sequences. These values are not only foundational in mathematics and nature, but they are also widely regarded as potential markers of intelligence in CT research, since they transcend language and culture. Michio Kaku himself pointed out that these patterns could function as a universal handshake, an unambiguous way for a civilization to say, "We understand the same truths you do," while skeptics argued that nature can produce apparent order through coincidence. The statistical probability of these patterns emerging by chance in this context was vanishingly small. The deeper implication was chilling. If these patterns were intentional, then Atlas wasn't just traveling through our solar system, it was leaving behind breadcrumbs, perhaps to see if we would notice. Further observations from the James Webb Space Telescope revealed that Atlas's surface did not simply reflect light, it manipulated it. The spectral analysis showed that different segments of its exterior were shifting their reflectivity in real time, altering their albedo depending on its position relative to the Sun and nearby planets. This adaptive skin, could allow it to regulate temperature, disguise its optical signature, or optimize energy absorption. The changes were too localized and too rapid to be caused by natural geological processes. They resembled the controlled behavior of engineered nanomaterials. Some scientists began to compare it to the sails of our own light-propelled spacecraft, except infinitely more advanced, capable not only of capturing light but of bending it around itself, effectively cloaking parts of its structure from detection. This raised an uncomfortable question. If it can choose when and how it's visible, how many other objects like it have passed through our solar system completely unseen?